Welcome back here in the Waco Center here at Glenville State College in the athletic department with the Coaches Show. And this afternoon, our guest is head track and field and cross country coach, Coach Dan Meyers. Good to see you today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Coach. I really appreciate it.
Hey, really, coming off your first championship meet as head coach here for the Pioneers. What are some takeaways from Saturday?
It was ideal conditions. It rained the night before and the day of, pretty heavily, especially during the girls' race. But the course held up pretty well, I would say, for the most part. But I would say first championship in the books. That there was a lot of good takeaways. The girls battled the entire way. The guys, followed the race plan very well, and they put themselves in position. Came a little short of our goal, but we were a lot closer than I think that people would have thought we would have been at the beginning of the season with where we were preseason ranked. And I think we mixed it up with some teams that people at the beginning of the season didn't think that we could mix it up with. And overall, I'm really excited about it. I'm even more excited looking forward to the next year and a half with keeping everyone's mileage around the same to kind of keep building, and hopefully some bigger results will come down the road.
Yeah, well, I tell you, to look at how deep. We'll start with the men. How deep on the men's side this league is, and what a force. The Mountain East is regionally and with some nationally ranked teams. And the fact that your group came within 10 points of finishing fifth, they really, got after it and competed hard in that mid-pack. Just, what that means for the program as a whole, and then if you speak to some of the individuals that made that happen.
I think that the biggest thing I can take away from it is what we've been talking about every practice the whole season was becoming closer as a group from 3 to 5. We knew that if we had a chance to beat the Frostburgs and the Wesleyans and teams like that, we were going to have to close the gap from 3 to 5. They finished within 8 spots of each other at 3, 4, and 5, and they finished within 40 seconds of each other, which really heavily closed the gap of where we've been racing all season. That 3-pack of BJ, Brady, and Clayton, and Brady and Clayton finished within a few seconds of each other. That really helped us propel us to be that 10 points out. The group as a whole had our fastest team average in a conference championship setting in a decade, and top 3 fastest in the last 2 decades. So, we put it out there, and the result says 7th on the board, but at the end of the day, I think that I can take a little bit of a moral victory knowing how close we were and how, we had 5 in front of Frostburg's 4. We had 5 in front of Wesleyan's 5. And, that's the name of the game. And just head-to-head in the front, we couldn't match it up with them. But I think that our weaknesses that we had coming in were our strengths. And I think that, we've put it in a position where any day now that head-to-head, I think that we can battle with those teams. No,
it was nice to see. It really was, and how tight look at those results. And big step for the program. And on the women's side, I'm just thinking back, about they'd opted out in the spring. We didn't have a team compete at the championships, and even just a couple weeks before school, the work you were doing to fill in spots and fill the roster. And to come out there and compete like they did, speak to their effort.
I think from 1 to 6, they all had, if not their best race, tied with probably their best race of the season. Alyssa Woods had, a 2-minute season PR. We just had a meeting and talking about how excited she is for track season. Lexi Sirk, battled the entire way. She got out pretty quickly and, ran like a cross-country run in the opening bits there. Rachel Ferris, didn't know until like 2 weeks before school started that she was even going to run cross-country for us. Olivia Unger, first, sport that she's done since middle school and all the miles and everything she's put in. John V ran tough out front, and she mixed it up with some really good runners at the beginning. Kind of fell back, but still held strong for a good kick at the finish. And Sam Dawson finishing in 44th, only 8 spots behind John V. I would have never imagined our 1 and 2 would be that close at the beginning of the year, but it's just a testament to their hard work. And the scoreboard is what it is, but it doesn't show the heart and grit that these ladies fought with when I got here. We only had 3 on the roster, and kind of working to fill a team that would run with this much enthusiasm enthusiasm and just the comments of how much the season meant to him when it was all said and done was an awesome feeling. Yeah,
it was a great team atmosphere you have, and good culture. Now regionals, what are the goals here? I know you talked about realistic goals, that there's certainly some things there for the team to reach out to that could be significant program moments up there at Lockhaven. What are you looking for here?
So I looked back, and since 2000, our school's highest finish has been 17th in the region. We would love to push for a top 15 in the region. I think that's a big goal, but how you talked about how strong our conference is. Davis and Elkins finished 4th on the men's side this year. They had a few people injured and battled a lot of injuries this year. But talk about the quality of their program. They finished 4th on the men's side, and they were a national team 2 years ago. So if you take into consideration how strong our conference is up at the PSAC now, I think top 15 is a good goal. I think it's a goal that we can achieve. And I would love to see Bryce and Blake battle for a top 40, top 50 spot, and just see how they can hang on with some things.
Yeah, really. That's up on November 6th up there, which is a flat course.
Absolutely.
So that'll be a different mindset there than when we had the conference here. What about just looking beyond that? Training about the group now. It seems like they've bought in and understand the volume and your method with the quality days. Moving forward, what are you looking for with that?
I think just the consistency, and I think that they love adding up the miles at the end of the week, and I think they're getting to the point now where you always said sometimes when you're putting in a mileage program or a volume program in place that they haven't done before, sometimes it's a year and a half for them to really reap the benefits of it, and that's the exciting part moving forward. And I think some of them, with all the fitness that they've been putting in and where they've kind of matched up cross country wise over 8K and at the regional 10K, I think some of them are ready to bump up to some different events on the track. I think that'll be really, really exciting, and I think the girls as well.
Well, I'll tell you, it's really like what you're doing. And again, we mentioned John V ran her race, and she was homecoming queen here at Glenville. So she came back and made it here for the ceremony.
Saturday,
absolutely, was able to be recognized with royalty there at the end of the first quarter. It was big kudos to her for that honor as well. But I tell you what, we'll be getting back together to talk about the regional next time we get together. But really appreciate you coming by to join us today.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.